up, Chris. All right, we're back with another one, episode 9 of the White Monster fucking podcast. We got Wojcik, recurring guest. I haven't been here with Wojcik before yet, but we got Nicky, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, we got the boys in today. Declan's still in Australia. Shout out to Declan for killing it at fucking CJI Trials. That was fucking sick. He's still in Australia. He's going to do a couple episodes, but, yeah, we're holding the fort back here. He should be back, like, next week, and then we'll get it going, but regardless, we'll get it going in here. But, yeah, he did pretty good at Trials. You guys watch any of that?
I actually didn't get to see his matches. How did they look? Did he, get mostly subs? Did he?
He fucking I'm pretty biased, obviously, but he dominated.
Okay.
They had 5 matches, I think. Well, obviously, you want to sub everyone, but he subbed 3 guys. And then the ones that he didn't sub, he just passed. And then, the final match, the guy, just didn't want to get subbed because I think it takes points away. So, in, the first 30 seconds, Declan passed and then got to mount. Mm-hmm. And the guy just literally, sat with his hands on Declan's hips and, played bottom mount to, not get subbed for 7 minutes, so...
One thing I saw is that when they announced the team, they didn't put either guy at a specific weight. I think they're both just 99 and plus 99. So is Declan 99 or is he going to be over?
No, I think he's making a pretty stern thing where he's I'm going to go to minus. So I think he's going to do minus because I think he's also going to compete at 205 a little bit now.
Oh, great. That's terrible.
I know. He was like,
for 205ers.
Yeah, he was like, bro, I'm going to go down to 205. And I was like, you fat fuck, you're not making 205. He's like, my gas tank, bro. I was like, there's more in there that needs a little weight loss to help that gas tank.
What is he even, you know what he walks around at? No.
220.
That's what I was thinking.
For 80cc, he was 232 for a bit.
Oh my God. That's heavier than Nicky Rod.
It was, yeah. And he would use me as his warm-up rounds.
Yeah.
He was
I was like,
terrible.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
You might be warm, but I'm
He was horrible to train with during 80cc camp because my back was fucked the whole camp, and he was just enormous and just throwing my legs around and squishing me.
And he's not slow for 230.
No, he doesn't feel like 230 until he makes chest to chest. No. Then he feels like 300 pounds.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, so I think he's making a pretty stern thing where he was like, I'm going to do. I think he gets to call the shot. He was he made his way in, he subbed the third guy, and they're like, well, you're in because no one can catch you. Because, the way the matches went on, they were so deep into the round robin, they're like, you're done.
Okay.
So he just did the last 2, and was just he's like, I want to sub everyone, but.
Yeah. Oh, that's sick, man. Declan's really good.
So Australia team is Fabricio, Levi, Kaynard, Declan, and Bilal is the guy's first name.
Olabek or some shit, or
something
Bilal.
Like this, yeah.
I've never heard of that guy. Apparently he does pretty
good. He got
second,
so must be pretty good. There was some good. Kit Dale was in there.
Shout out to Kaya. Kaya's the boy.
Kaya was in there.
Kaya was there.
Yeah, I saw Kenta
Kenta was in there too.
Tooth went through his lip, right?
Bro, he had 2 subs in 2 matches.
He had the injury. He had to pull out due to injury.
Yeah.
He probably could have at least gotten second. In that bracket.
That would have been sick. Dog Kenta, dude.
Yeah.
That would have been fucking hilarious. Yeah, I was pissed. I was watching it, and at first I thought they said they will not let Kenta compete with his injury of his lip. And I was so mad at the TV. Emily was beside me in bed, and she was like, I'm trying to sleep. What's wrong? I was like, they're trying to pull my boy out for a lip. If he wants to go, let him go. Let him scrap. Fuck this.
Yeah.
Long way from the heart. And then it was oh no, Kenta doesn't want to do it. I was like, you know what? Good decision. Good, smart. I was like, you know what? Smart decision for the boy. You know what I mean? But yeah, Kenta did really good too. But yeah, then Fabricio Andre is pretty sick pickup.
Yeah. He's really good in open weights. I remember who did he beat? Giancarlo? Or
he beat Owen Livesley first. Next round, he beat Giancarlo, and then I think he lost to Kainan in the finals, but he still took Kainan down, I think.
He ducked him.
Yeah. That's a good wild card pick.
That's insane.
He might be. He's a very good 66 pickup because he can kind of scrap with any. Obviously, he can scrap with anybody.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this is the thing is there are some guys who just don't do what they're really good at the shit. There are some guys who do really well in their weight class and they just suck in open weight. And for CJI, that's not so good.
Yeah, that's true. I know.
And Fabricio is not like that. He's does always kills it in the absolute.
I think it'd be cool if they just send him out. Him versus Nick Rod would be pretty funny.
That would be pretty funny. That'd be a crazy match.
Like, it would be pretty sick to watch.
Him versus Hugo would be crazy.
Yeah. I think he could. No offense to Hugo, but that'd be a good match.
It would
He's
be
little enough. Dude, sometimes little guys can get through your guard because you're like, I didn't know you could sneak in there.
Yeah, this is what retaining when like Owen was here, like retaining guard on Owen, he would be able to like kind of wiggle through things that normally I can just hold people.
Bro, I had one guy like I think it might have been Owen. He like just went through my legs, like his whole body was like whoop, and I was like, the fuck, you can't do that. That's not fair.
Yeah, he's
but no, that'll be interesting to see all that. Have any of the other CJI teams been announced?
Some guys from Europe, and they're doing the Europe trials coming up.
I saw that, but they're kind of fucked because they lost Shazinski and they lost Lange.
Yes.
Oh, really?
He must have some kind of bad injury because I think he's out of Aiga and out of the trials.
And Langecker said he's out too.
Damn. Yeah, I saw Langacker's getting surgery.
I think Mateus is getting surgery on something as well.
Okay. Yeah, those are definitely two of the top Europe guys.
Yeah, but they do have, I think, that Pavel kid. Have you guys seen him?
Yeah, he was at Polaris. He was on the Europe team. I didn't get to go against him, but it was like they made this stacked Europe team for Polaris, and it was like the team before Pavel was in was Owen Jones, Owen O'Flanagan, Mateus, Pierman, Santiri, and it was a big guy. Pierman, O'Flanagan, and Santiri were the big guys. Then Owen, Mateus, and Joe and Joseph. I forget because he's not really European, but
there you go. Yeah. I mean, because Mateus pulled out of that and he put Pavel in.
No, Owen had his knee injury.
Yeah, Mateus did do it because he caught a couple guys.
Mateus subbed PJ and he subbed Kieran.
Fuck,
it was tough.
Fuck, man.
And then the North American team, it was like we had a really solid team, but like Mateus just went on a run, and it was just like too many points to catch up from.
He's so fucking good.
And in sub only, like he always kind of struggles when he has to wrestle, but in sub only, when he can just like play guard and bolo people and do leg locks, he's just fucking so hard to deal with.
Yeah, I watch a bunch of him. His game's sick. I mean, but also that's kind of like the sickest way to do jiu-jitsu, just lay on your back, fuck wrestling, fucking guard retain.
Set people with as little effort as possible.
That's the way, bro.
That
fucking Nicky Ryan is out against guard players though lately at B team, dude. What is the hate on the guard dudes, dude?
Listen, man, gotta get people better,
Fuck. Lately we've been coming into practice and Nicky's just been sicking the best passers on whoever plays supine, which there's 3 of us, so you can't really pick too many of the guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like the experimental phase, and then they try it on you when they think it's working, and they go to you after. So I'm just fighting for my life with fucking Nick Rod and Nick Mattia.
Yeah, no, it is. I'm sure it is tough for you going with Nick Rod almost every day.
Bro, my fucking abs and like, what the fuck are the muscles? Your hip flexors?
Hip flexors, yeah.
They were so tight, it felt like someone was tugging on my left nut for like a day the other day. Like 24 hours. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And Emily was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm trying to get knees to chest for 20 minutes against dickhead 1, dickhead 2.
I don't really get sore from guard anymore. I get sore from everything. Like if I have to wrestle a lot, I get sore from wrestling. Yeah. Don't get sore from guard anymore. But like I used to way back in the day when I was doing gi especially, and you're doing like spider guard and you're spending all your time like engaging your core basically and holding grips.
I think the difference between why I get sore and you don't get sore is because you're very good. And you're not regarding.
Efficiency.
You know what I mean?
Efficiency.
I'm doing like 12,000 fucking crunches because I'm getting past and regarding.
I had Ali start doing it with Marlon. And Marlon, every time 2 minutes in, he's like, my abs are fucking shot.
Good, dude. He kept talking about how he wanted to fucking lose weight. Here you go.
Being bad at something is the best way to lose weight in jiu-jitsu. Like if you're good at jiu-jitsu, it's like really tough to lose weight doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. More efficient you are.
That's true. That is true. I mean, I feel like if you're bad at anything,
that's why like white belts show up and they just drop like 25 pounds in the first month. And then you see the brown belt, same guy at brown belt has a beer belly.
Dude, that's the goal. If you could get so sick, you'd need no physical fucking. I mean, I think the sport's evolved enough now where you actually have to be a bit of a fucking athlete. But
at the competitive level for sure, but like hobbyist level, the goal is to just be like as efficient and out of shape, but still tough to deal with.
Yeah, that's sick. You're a sleeper athlete, though.
Sleeper athlete.
You're a sleeper athlete. Dude, you fucking lean into it. It's not even mean saying it. You walk around like this, and you're like, hi, guys. How's it going? Just released another book. We're like, all right, dude. Then you get out and doing sports. It's like, you know how to run. You fake the waddle. And then you see you run. There's no waddling.
It just seems like a more efficient way to move.
Efficient way to move.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, and then what do you have coming up?
I got next thing is Aiga. I'm doing Aiga for Aleon in June.
Can you talk about who's on that yet or no?
I don't know. It's not announced yet, so maybe not. Some of the boys are on the team though.
Yeah. Who's all in that? It's the people who won all the trials for Aiga, right? Like
so it's Modolfo has a team, but they've changed their name to like Williams team or some shit like this. And then
who the fuck's William?
I have no idea. New guy who's paid for the team. I don't know.
That's a fucking crazy thing to me when you see rich guys, and they're like, "I'll sponsor the team, but you have to make it my first name." It's like, what?
It's like a Foxcatcher situation.
It's just fucking strange. But yeah, so they're in it. Checkmat's in it. Right?
Checkmat. It's honestly like pretty stacked. It's Checkmat, Aleon,
Acai Republic.
They just announced.
Universal. Is that one?
Universal Fighters.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's.
Oh, is that Team Dagestan?
I think so.
That was like the Dagestani team that beat Team Modolfo last time.
They beat Team Adolfo?
I think Team Adolfo
in the group stage
got more points overall, but I think team versus team, I think they beat Team Adolfo.
Yeah, because I think the way it works, so for, I don't know like how much I can say, but for Aleon, we have like multiple guys at every weight, and so I think the thought process there is I think the first day is like group stage, so you have like 3 matches, and then on the second day you could have, like 2 more at least, maybe 3. So it's like a pool play and then a bracket. So you have like a lot of matches. So like if you only bring one guy, that guy has to do every single round.
Fuck. I mean, yeah, it makes sense to have like fucking 2 then. But it's set up differently than like the Aiga rules. It's 77 versus 77, right? 88 versus 88, yes. 99, right? Like an actual, like it's like a wrestling format.
Yeah. It's not like quintet.
How do we know any? I mean, I guess we can't even talk about it if we do know it for CJI. They haven't released any rules or anything, right? With like quintet style and stuff. Like,
I'm not too sure. I don't even know the rules. I gotta talk to Craig and ask him what the rules will be. But as far as I know, I don't think they've announced anything.
I don't know.
I only know what I think, and it's not enough to say it publicly.
Yeah. I don't know. I do think, I mean, we talked about it on this before, but like the team events is, I mean, it'd be interesting to get your input on this. Mm-hmm. But like from a guy who like hasn't done it as long, and like my whole family doesn't know what the fuck jiu-jitsu is. Like, you know what I mean? Like my dad, he's a fucking good guy. He watches like everything I fucking do, but the only one that like he was really understood what was happening was when I did a team event, because it was like, oh, okay, so like each team has 1 win, best out of 3, whoever wins this moves on. So it gets like the common like, or like a casual fan who doesn't train, you're invested because you're like, okay, well, I can understand best out of 3, like 1 versus 1, like whoever moves on, you know what I mean? But like, so like for me, I think like that's a pretty good way to like get more viewers on. But like what do you think about like the team shit?
Yeah, I think like team events, especially with like the quintet rule set, where if you sub, you stay in. I think it's probably the most like spectator friendly rule set. Like I've always had, the most enjoyment watching like quintets. Those are some of the most exciting events in my opinion. So yeah, I don't know. I think that like we'll be seeing a lot more of it in the future.
You did the one in Japan, right?
Yeah, I did quintet in Japan. I actually found Santeri.
Oh yeah, I remember that. You hit a sick back take.
Yeah, I was watching back taking that one.
Fuck, I forgot about that.
It's also spectator friendly because it's like an absolute where you see these huge size discrepancies and stuff like that. So people are always interested in that as well.
I remember Nicky Rod went against PJ Barch.
Yes,
that was a cool match.
Yeah. Where the fuck? I didn't watch any of this.
Yeah,
it's free on YouTube.
Yeah, it's free on YouTube.
Jesus Christ. Terrible terrible teammate. Terrible fucking.
10th Planet, I remember it was PJ Geo. Because didn't Geo get he got hit with that Craig. Toe hold, the reverse grip through the legs?
Boogie got hit by the
Boogie,
toe
that's
hold,
right, that's right.
And then I think Craig back triangled Geo.
Oh, okay, that's right, yeah. Boogie was the one who got hit with the toe.
I remember watching Craig hit that weird reach around wrestle up.
Yeah, on like Gregor, right?
Gregor Gracie.
I think
he literally
you guys went against Polaris first, right?
Yeah, Team Polaris.
It was like Jed Hugh and was it Owen Flanagan in that?
No, he wasn't.
He's not as active as he used to be.
Yeah, I haven't seen him compete in a while. I think he was supposed to be on that team, but I think he got injured and had to get replaced.
Is he on Team Europe, or are they making him do the trials?
No, he's not doing the trials.
So
he's not doing the trials, and Santeri is not doing the trials.
They got invited.
No, they're not doing it at all.
What about Pierman?
So Pierman's doing the trials for Europe at 88, and so they're having Paul Ardilla do them too.
Paul's American.
Yeah, he's going to be their wild card.
Ah.
But so they...
I thought the whole point of the wild card was not to do trials.
Right, so he's fighting to be the wild card.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't win...
So the second place guy is also... What?
So they put Negromonte at 99.
Also not...
But
Negromonte from Brazil?
Because I think he's probably got a European passport. Maybe he got married out there or something. Or they have... I don't know what the logic is, but he's doing it, and then I'm assuming they've all checked this. Because he lives... I know Negromonte lives in London, and he trains at...
Paul's a lawyer. He could just have like a fucking condo in Italy or some shit. I could see that from that guy.
I like Paul. Paul's the man.
Yeah, you said you hung out with him. He's cool.
Yeah, I did seminar in Atlanta. I stayed in his house, and they took good care of me. I like those guys.
That was more frustrating when I found out he was nice.
Yeah,
like you got everything going for you, and you're cool. Like get fucked.
He's nice. He drives a Mercedes. He's got a beautiful house. He took me to his law office. I guess that's the car. He had me carry this binder, and he had to carry like 4 other binders.
You became a loss. Like,
I was his assistant for a day.
Hey kid, can you carry this for me? We gotta go check something out. I know. I was like, it sounds like I'm wishing bad things on him, but I was like, you can't be that handsome, that successful, good at jiu-jitsu, and be a good guy.
Yeah.
And apparently now he's all the fucking above. Like,
got it all.
Can't fight. Is he married?
No.
Fucking guy. Yeah, he probably does terrible with women. Women don't like tall, handsome guys in Mercedes with good jobs, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking God.
Yeah, he's the man.
And then, so the only invites for Team Europe is Owen.
Owen and Negromonte.
Yeah.
Negromonte is an interesting pick because I went against him at ADCC. And
if that's Negromonte, I'd pick Taylor before.
But Negromonte is so hard to sub. Like, literally, there's no chance he gets subs.
You subbed him.
No, I didn't. I beat him by decision, and I took 5,000 shots.
That needs to be. I told you, you need to come out with a DVD on wrestling. How to wrestle without wrestling. How to look busy by Chris Wojcik. Because I got trials.
Busy.
Bro, at trials, you would just shoot, and you're the best I've ever seen at being on a leg, completely sprawled out on top, extended, and you somehow get to a good position. Like everyone else is fucked, and you're like, I
scrimmage wrestling without actually being good at wrestling.
It's wild. It's insane. I watch it and everyone's like, he's fucked here. And I'm like, no, he's not. This is his spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to deal with. You got a guy, just constantly. It's like every 10 seconds a shot comes at you. And it's like, even if you sprawl it out, you can't rescore off of his shots. It's super difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you get under him, you're going to break their fucking leg.
That was what happened with Negromonte at ADCC because we did the regulation, and I was like, oh, there's no way I'm scoring on this guy. He's like it was like trying to move a house. His base is ridiculous. I would try to like go fall streep, and his leg just wouldn't get off the ground. And I was like, okay, we're definitely not going to be doing, like, I'm not going to leg lock this guy. Maybe I can like put him on his butt for a second, but we just got to keep the work rate real high.
And it worked out. This is just a stupid question. Do you count the 3 seconds?
I count to 5.
You do?
Yeah, because I know like 3, you're rolling the dice. Because what if it's not 3? And I made that mistake in like a smaller show one time. I counted to 3 instead of counting to like way up there, and it wasn't 3. But so I always count to like 5 or 6, and then
fuck. Because I remember you did that with Ryan Aiken at West Coast.
Oh, it was another match. It was just like a million shots.
Went to overtime. You just kept shooting.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And we were all losing it. I had to tell Roman to calm down. I thought Roman was going to get you disqualified. He was just like talking shit.
Ryan
like, Roman, I love it, but stop.
Yeah.
Aiken is in CJI. He's on 10th Planet. I think he's doing 99.
Makes sense. Isn't he like 230?
So I think 10th Planet is...
How that man makes 88 is beyond me.
For Aiga, he's listed at 83 kilos, which is
183.
That is ridiculous. That's like...
His weight cutting, he's like, I've like tried to learn weight cutting advice. Like I've asked him about weight cutting stuff before because he's just so good at it. Yeah. And like you'll see him in the morning of I remember at Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds, he was like 180. It was 185. He showed up 185 looking like the same size as me, and I saw him later that day, and he looked like 220 pounds. Just crazy.
He's fucking. Some guys can just like shed weight so easily.
Yeah.
And other guys, it just sticks to them.
Yeah.
Like they just can't. Like, regardless of what they fucking do. Because that's crazy. Like, getting down to 182. I mean, I think... It's not going to... I mean, what the fuck do I know? But if I was 230, I would never do 77, 88. I'm staying at 99. Like, it seems like the pool is way...
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah. I feel like
you're just making life harder.
The skill goes down the higher the weight class.
When you come back, you need to be a 99 guy.
I know. Yeah.
I've been saying this. You could be the next... Who the fuck was that guy? Orlando
Sanchez.
You could be the Orlando Sanchez.
I don't know if that's exactly healthy, you know.
Do you want medals or do you want health, brother?
You're right.
Nah. That'd be fucking hilarious. Because you can get up there.
Oh, yeah.
Who won 99 at last ADCC?
Kind of.
Under...
Oh, kind of. Okay.
Yeah, under 99 was Kynan, yeah.
Who do you pick, Kynan or like bowling ball Nicky?
2 healthy knees?
2 healthy knees.
Zin on the line? If a Zin sponsorship's on the line, I don't know.
I could like so easily get up to like 230 pounds. Like it would not be difficult for me at all.
No lying. What's the heaviest you got during the surgery?
This surgery, the heaviest I stepped on the scale, I was, this was right after we ate Korean barbecue, I was 205. 205. So there's a 20-pound weight difference between me and Nicky Rod.
It's got to be so hard though when
there's
like...
a 13-pound weight difference between you and Declan.
Yeah.
It's got to be so hard. Like if you can't walk, like how do you burn any calories?
Oh yeah, I mean I was literally just stuck in bed. Like I knew, like if I get surgery, like I'm absolutely gonna get fat. Like there's just no ifs, ands, or buts.
It wasn't 205 with abs.
Nah, definitely not 205 with abs. But and when I was in Puerto Rico, I was like 190, 195 with abs.
Fuck. That was when the Dante match, right?
Yeah. It's like around that time.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, fuck it.
Dude, that match with Dante was so sick. That was like the match where I was like, oh, Nicky's not just a leg locker.
Yeah. I like changed my whole style up for sure.
That was the match because like everyone kept hearing like rumblings of like Danaher and Gordon. And everyone was just like, Nicky's the man. Like Nicky's the man.
Yeah.
And you went out and did that, and we're like, holy fuck me, okay.
Yeah, it was definitely like a big breakout performance.
I trained with Dante for that. Like, I was in Dante's camp for that match.
Oh, really?
He was in Toledo, so I used to I wasn't like in the camp to train for Nicky, but I was just like, I was there because I used to go train with him all the time, and it was like around the time of that match. And I remember like, just the Dante was like so confident that he was going to out wrestle you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know anything. I was like, he's got really good leg locks, you know.
Yeah.
I think the craziest
surprised a lot of people there.
No, craziest one was, I don't remember how it might have been in the beginning. You GSP doubled him.
Yeah, it was like the first like minute or 2 minutes. I hit like a super explosive just GSP double and put him down. Yeah.
I remember watching that and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Is he okay? I guess
I actually smacked my head into the mat on that double, like shot to the double and then like tried to cartwheel over, but I like just exploded into it so hard that my fucking forehead just smacked straight into the mat.
Fuck. Worth it.
Yeah. How old were you in that match?
Maybe 20, 19, 20.
How old are you now?
23. About like three years ago. It was before I moved to Austin. I moved to Austin 3 years ago, so
makes sense.
And that was when your knee first went out, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, dude, my knee was screwed that whole camp, to be honest. I actually, so it was a bucket handle tear in my meniscus, and I actually had that tear happen like maybe 2 months prior to the match, and my knee was fully locked at 90 degrees for 2 weeks. Tore it training with Nicky Rod. It immediately locked up. Yeah. Immediately locked up. Was stuck like that for 2 weeks. Couldn't walk. Nothing. Obviously, the healthcare system in Puerto Rico is not the greatest. I went to get an MRI. Keep in mind, my leg has been locked.
They bring out a fucking Etch-a-Sketch.
My leg has been locked for 2 weeks, and it is swollen like twice the size of my other leg. I go in, I get an MRI, and the MRI results come back as nothing's wrong with my leg. And I have like a doctor friend in New York, so we're asking him about it, and he's like, yeah, they on the MRI, they like didn't magnify it enough to see if anything was actually wrong. So I'm like, okay, that's great. So it was still locked. Surprisingly enough, I was sleeping, and in my sleep, my leg unlocks. And this was the first time like I ever had a bucket handle tear in my meniscus. I didn't know it was a tear in my meniscus, so it unlocks in my sleep. I wake up the next day, and when it unlocks, like you feel fine. You feel like 100%, like nothing's wrong. I'm like, wow, I guess I was just being a pussy this whole time, and nothing's wrong with my leg. So go back to training. Throughout the whole camp, I feel my meniscus shifting, locking for a second, unlocking. And then in the match with Dante, it was the sequence that I actually scored on. I shot one last double, and you can kind of see me pause when I get my hands locked in a double, and I pause there for a second, and then I put him down. I score 2 for that, and then I pass with a body lock off of it, and then I score for that. Then he ends up getting back to his feet, and then you can kind of see me limp back towards the center, and then I just play guard the rest of the match and don't get past, yeah.
Fuck, dude.
I had a similar meniscus experience 2017. I talked about it with Declan, but basically, like, my knee, I heard it, like, doing a butterfly sweep in training, and I got an MRI, and, like, every time I got an MRI, they were like, no, you're fine, looks good, it's probably just a ligament sprain. And then it would just like relock like in training again, and then I'd be like, my leg is fucked. That's how I ended up doing stand-up comedy when I was 20.
Dude, the worst too is after the Dante match, my leg is locked, and there's a flow medic, right? Because I had to be kind of carried backstage, and she's like, I need to test your ACL.
So she did the fucking.
So she's like trying to like get my leg straight to do some tests, and my leg is locked. They're like, I cannot extend it no matter what. And she starts to get annoyed with me. She's like, you have to relax. She's like, I have to get your leg straight. I'm like, literally, I'm just like holding my fist while she's just pushing down on my knee and pulling up on my heel for 15 minutes, and she just never gets it straight and just gets angry and walks off. I'm like, that was an awesome experience. Great.
Fuck. Yeah, that's not. I got told I have meniscus problems, but I don't fucking know. But like the one time when I got here after it's been here for 2 years now. It was like the first 8 months, I tore my ACL rolling with you that one day. And
I didn't even know you tore your ACL.
I just walked off.
Okay. It's surprisingly, it's not painful when you tear your ACL.
It was weird.
I tore my ACL, and then like it hurt for a second. I was like, "Whoa, what was that?" And then I like almost debated continuing training, and then the next day it was not fun.
Yeah, we finished the round. It was like you had like De La Riva, you know, like when you push their knee and then like you just like put your knee to the mat and swivel.
Mm-hmm.
I did that. When I swiveled, I heard a water bottle like it sounded like someone crunched a water bottle, and I remember looking at you like, "Did you hear that?" And you're like, "No." And I was like, "All right." And there was like 2 minutes left, so we just finished the round. And I walked off, and I was like, all right. And then I was in the shower, and I was like, my fucking knee's stiff. And I went home, and I tried to do a squat, and I got stuck. And I was like, oh, what the fuck is this? And then like it was super stiff, and then I had to go get PT and stuff. And like, yeah, dude, you have like no ACL now. I was like,
my old coach in Chicago is the same. He doesn't have ACL.
Yeah, so like the physio person or PT, whatever the fuck they call it in America. What do you guys call physio in America?
PT, yeah.
So the physio I went to, they're like, there's two, like they looked at it and like they did like the pull test, and they're like, there's so much room, this is not good. And I was like, well, I've been walking, I've like trained on it, seems fine. And they're like, well, there's two camps of people. Like one camp of people like can't even walk, like they can't do anything.
Considered copers, the other group, yeah.
Yeah, and then the other group like somehow like there's like something with like the fucking their way like the makeup of their leg is that they can actually like survive on it. And I was like, I mean, my legs are so fucking weak already. It's probably not missing much. You know what I mean? So they're like, you can not do surgery, and we can just try to like strengthen it. So I just did like, I mean, it doesn't look like it, but we just did like leg workouts 3 times a week. And I just did that. But it was lucky because that was by the time I had to go home because my passport wasn't done. So I legally couldn't stay in America. So I went back home. And that whole summer, I just worked out in my buddy's garage.
Nice.
When he was at work and I was like coaching jiu-jitsu, I would just go to his place and just like do all my physio and shit. And then I came back and like it makes some crazy noises, but it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, knock on wood. But...
Yeah.
Also, I took BPC, but like, I don't know if that actually fucking worked.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's not going to be any healing going on with a fully torn ACL.
That's true. I don't know why I took it.
I don't know. It's meant to speed up the healing process.
I threw the kitchen sink out. I was like, there's something else in there that needs healing. I mean, fucking,
yeah.
I'll inject it. I don't give a fuck, dude. We'll try some peptides out. But, yeah, I mean, what's, I know we've probably talked about this a bunch, but just to get it on here, I mean, your recovery is going really well.
Yes, yeah. So I had ACL reconstruction about 3 months ago. Let's see, what's today? It's the 18th. Yeah, so tomorrow will be 3 months actually. And yeah, I mean, everything's going well. PT is super happy with the progress, and he thinks I'll be like back on the mats within, like the next few weeks. Obviously not training hard, but just doing like super light positionals and things like that.
Beating the shit out of Sean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Sean and Marlon.
Should be teaching soon, you think?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, that's right.
I think the Nicky Ryan classes are the best at teaching,
Thank you.
sure.
I think that's like pretty renowned of like we all
like when I first came in, as like a tourist like years ago, I remember like you were teaching like wrestle ups one day, and I learned stuff in that class that I still use.
Nice, that's awesome, man.
Whereas like most not other gyms, but like most other gyms I go to, I learn something and I'm like this doesn't work, and now let's forget it.
That's got to be tough when you get to that level. Like you guys are at, like you're not gonna. I mean, you can learn stuff from everyone. You know what I mean? What they say, but I'm guessing there's a lot of gyms where you go to where you're like, I'm not gonna learn that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this sounds bad, but like you get like to a point of like you're at a point of like,
well, even
it takes
like,
a certain type of like level of coach to coach an at like a certain level of athlete. You kind of know what I'm saying without sounding like a dick.
Even like some things I'll learn from like really good coaches or really good grapplers. I'm like, this is sick. I'm never gonna do it.
That's true.
Like some like judo stuff or like some like kind of guard passing stuff. I'm like, just maybe like one day if I have like time to like just really work on like a skill from like a rudimentary like white belt level, I can add like something like judo stuff in particular. I'm like J-Flow. I would take J-Flow's classes and he'd show like really cool takedowns, really cool chains, and I'm like, this is sick. I can't put in the time to hit this on somebody good,
Yeah, that's like I think it's hard. Like you have to like depict on like, okay, like how much time is this going to take away from my other training, especially when you're active fighting like the best guys in the world when you get to a certain level. It's like you can't really afford to let other things lack when you're always busy, you know what I mean? But you need to build new skills, but it's easier to build new skills that already fit into your game.
Yeah.
Nicky, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When you were like, because you were kind of known as like a guard pulling leg locker for a long time, how long did it take? How long was like the transition to go from leg locker to like now you're like kind of known as somebody with really good wrestling and, just very well rounded? How was that transition?
Yeah, so I mean, like,
hold this a little closer, Nicky.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, so I always like, at the very least would like drill some wrestling stuff and do some wrestling rounds. But still was more focused on developing my guard for the first few years of my career. And then I would say maybe within like the 6 months prior to moving Puerto Rico is when I started like heavily focusing on wrestling, where I just pretty much stopped playing guard and training like completely, just did wrestling. And yeah, I mean it definitely took a while, but like yeah, especially for like the ADCC rule set, man, it's like necessary to at least be able to hold your own on the feet.
Well, like I think about like a lot of like the guys who are really like the top guard guys. A lot of them you never will see them wrestle. So like I remember like all the Danaher guys. It was like back in the day. It was like you guys were all guard pulling leg lockers, and then like I think it was ADCC 2019 maybe when all of a sudden you guys were all wrestling.
Yeah,
I remember
There was kind of a shift.
Yeah, because Gordon hit like 3 knee taps. And I was like, what the fuck? I thought this guy just leg locked it. I think it was like a blue belt. That was the first ADCC I watched. It was like a white or blue
we all just started getting pissed off and annoyed with 2 things. Number one, people just saying that we're guard pulling leg lockers. That was just like all the shit talk online. It was like, you guys can't wrestle. Like, and then also the fact of just like not being able to deal with people that disengage and stall out matches.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, we all have to get good at wrestling.
Was there like did you guys like, I know obviously with John would study all that stuff, but did you guys bring in like high level wrestlers to train with, or was it just you just beat each other up till y'all could wrestle?
I was like, we definitely had some high level wrestlers come in, but it wasn't like we were like seeking them out to bring them in to like teach us and stuff like that. I was mainly just kind of developed between like the group and John teaching.
And it was cool because it was like that was the first like jiu-jitsu wrestling that there really was. A lot of before that it was mostly just like wrestlers who did jiu-jitsu, and then the wrestlers who were wrestling in jiu-jitsu matches were just trying to do like folk style or freestyle wrestling moves. Yeah. And that was like the first time it was like wrestling was applied to jiu-jitsu,
Bro, I went back because I fucking started like there's a lot of people I didn't watch, and then I watched like my first like Marcelo Garcia run not long ago. There was like an hour film of him doing ADCC. That motherfucker's so like before his time. He was doing so much shit at ADCC where I was like, people do that shit. Like he just didn't leg lock, but like his like wrestling and stuff. I was like, what the fuck, dude? This pretty sick.
I forget what year it was, but there was one ADCC that he did that was in the pyramid. Do you know what year that was?
I'm not sure.
It was like it's like the sickest 80. Like it should be like required watching for every white belt. It's like Marcelo's ADCC run in the pyramid.
Do you have a grappler's diary about that? Required things to watch?
I feel like that would be on there. I feel like the Kumite, Loiter was Kumite.
Oh my god, dude! I remember watching that thing coming up.
It was like so when Keenan was a brown belt, they did a reality show, kind of like Who's Next or any of that stuff, where it was like they all went and lived in a house at Lloyd Irvin's for a week or a couple weeks or whatever, and they would never do something like this now because it was gi and no gi, no time limit, sub only.
Yeah,
that sounds like a
Keenan beat everybody.
Oh really?
Yeah. He beat everybody gi and no gi because they were like at the time the like kind of debate was like Keenan's the best brown belt in the world. Can anybody beat him? And nobody could beat him.
Yeah, I remember watching that. That like. Keenan was like my idol coming up because I watched that Kumite.
He was the man. He was like untouchable till Gordon beat him.
Yeah, no,
like,
literally
he was the best guy at the time.
Yeah, he's like my
pound
idol
for pound
coming
at
up.
least.
Yeah, when I started, he was. I think that's when he won world. He finally beat Nicholas Marigali, and then he was like, "I'm gonna chill out."
That was sick when he beat Marigali. That was like big win for the natty guard players.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Literally, like he gave up like 10 advantages too. I don't know if you've seen this match. He like almost got submitted like 10 times, like loop choke, and almost got his back taken, all this stuff, and then he just swept him and he won.
Fuck
sick.
I didn't make the rules. I just played by them. Fuck it. That's fucking funny. Like, I didn't watch much of Keenan. I remember when I first got here, I saw a round of you and Keenan.
Yes, yeah. When
that was right before, before I moved here.
Like, I love Keenan, but I remember, like, Keenan coming up, Keenan was my favorite guy, and then I was like, Keenan comes to B team, I was like, oh, sick, and you guys beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, he never came back.
Yeah, I think he came back one more time after that, and then he hasn't been back since.
It's got to be tough, though, because, like, he's such a name, so, like, when he goes anywhere, it's like, okay, there's content here, Yeah,
also, B teams like get the cameras, get every camera.
Yeah, for sure. But to be fair, he does the same thing at his gym.
He does do this. He does, yeah.
That is true. I guess it is different now because, like, back in the day, like, you'd only hear word of mouth. So, like, word of mouth, you'd always hear, like, your team talk about how good you were in, like, the training room and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then B team is like, why don't we just start recording training.
Yeah,
footage.
B-Team was like the first gym that was like really went into the like making training footage public.
Yeah, because in like other combat sports like boxing and stuff, it was always like you don't show training footage, you don't talk about training footage, you don't even talk about what happened in training. Like you can't post anything about it.
Yeah,
and I was always like,
yeah, that's how it was on like DDS and stuff too. But I've always been like, I don't.
Was that like a deliberate decision that you guys made? Like we're gonna record all our rounds and share them, or was it like Craig's idea? Or
I think it was like mainly like Craig's idea to kind of like try and build up a YouTube, and like all the guys were like cool with it. You know, like none of us really cared if our training footage was out there.
yeah.
It really makes you like, I feel like I care a little less about getting fucked up in training now, because like it's like a weird thing, because it's like, because I know that it's training and I know like I'm gonna get fucked up either way, I feel like I had to lean into like it's just training even if it's getting recorded, you know?
Yeah.
Because like if you care too much about your training getting put out, then you're gonna you can't train there. You know, eat you alive.
No, for sure. And it's like, you know, like there's for sure tons of highlights of me beating people up, but there's also rounds where I get ankle locked by Craig 6 times in 6 minutes. So
That's true. When I first moved here, the amount of fucking videos I got sent to me.
yeah.
Yeah, people are like, "Oh, look at you training with Nick Ride." It's like me getting launched somewhere.
Mine wasn't even that. Some would be from people back home who were like, "How are you letting these guys do this to you?" And I'm like, "I beat you up, motherfucker! Like you come down here and tell me what you think I should do. Like,
Yeah.
You think I'm not trying? Like, I'm fucking. It's different, bro. Like I don't know what the fuck's going on."
Yeah, my best is JB because he has like all of his wrestling buddies, especially when I like B Team first opened and it was going out on the YouTube because I was still fat from my other surgery. So JB's getting a bunch of messages like, "How are you letting this little chubby kid take you down?" He's like, "Bro," he's like, "Come train with them. I'm telling you."
Yeah, that was another good fucking lie, dude. Like we were talking about, like everyone was always like, everyone had like the. I remember when I got here, people were like back home, they're like, "Oh, Craig's not that athletic, and I don't think Nicky Ryan is either. Copy them." And I was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna stop you there." Because I've rolled with both of them, and I've seen them train out. Craig's the strongest human being I've ever fucking met, and he's flexible as fuck. He can do crazy shit. And I was like, and Nicky Ryan's doing cartwheels off his head to prevent double legs.
Yeah.
So whoever told you idiots they're not athletic, like, this is a fucking lie.
Yeah.
Like, come watch a round. Like,
Yeah.
it's absolutely ridiculous.
Craig is probably the strongest like pound for pound person that I've ever trained with.
Bro, he's such a... He looks at us this morning and goes, "This is the 5th time I've trained this year." And I was like, "Shut up," because I already know how today's going to go.
Yeah.
And I don't need to hear these lies. He fucking toe holded me from my false reap. I was in saddle, and he went down, and I was like,
yeah, I mean, it's scary when that man grabs anything. Like, it'll just break. No matter, like, if he grabs anything, an ankle lock, a toe hold, like, it'll just immediately break. It's insane.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking ridiculous. I mean, he was just beating up me and JB. So I was like, well, I'm happy you're having a good Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home and try to figure out my life. But, man, it was funny. I had Ethan and PO on, and they were saying, like, back, because I'm from Canada. I was super interested. I was like, how the fuck did TriStar get hooked up with the New York guys? Because I didn't realize, like, PO was, like, knew you guys for that long. I thought PO just like...
I met PO when I was like a chubby 13-year-old.
That's what he was saying, and he was like, man, we were trying to find places to stay, and then one day, Nicky Ryan, like, saved us, and was like, hey, whenever you guys come here, just stay at my house. And I was like, how old was Nicky at this time?
Yeah.
I was like, because PO is a year older than me.
Yeah.
And, like, Ethan's my age.
Yeah.
And I was like, so you guys were, like, 20, like, they would have been mid-20s, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Because they're 10 years older than you.
Yeah.
So like, they were in mid-20s, and I was like, and you guys are just like, a 14-year-old's like, come have a sleepover, and you guys are like, sure. It's like,
Dude, yeah, I mean, I had everybody staying at my house, man. I had, Craig stayed at my house in Jersey, or at my mom's house. Ethan and P.O. would live there for extended periods of time. Taza, like, Eamon Zahabi used to come and stay at my house all the time. So, yeah, everybody that would, like, any athlete that was, like, you know, wanted to be a full-time athlete, would just come and stay at my house so they could train in New York.
Bro, that's fucking sick. That's sick. I try to explain that when you play sports, like the age thing, like I was trying to explain this to like my girl, because like outside of jiu-jitsu, all my friends are like my age or older. Because I fucking like I work like a blue collar job and stuff. Everyone's like usually older than me. I hang out with them or whatever. But like you come to a gym and like the age disparity is big. So like there's some 20-year-olds and there's some 19-year-olds who act like 20 and 19-year-olds, and you're like, fuck, like I'm probably like it's tough to hang out with you. But then there's some guys who are like mature really quickly because of like, I mean, you had to mature really quickly because I mean you were doing all these like big time like shows and like you were put out in the world like pretty young.
Yeah.
So I was like, she was like, how are you hanging out with 21-year-olds? I was like, it's different when you're on the same team as everybody. Like it's not like because like the maturity, like Joseph Chen, like Joe comes over and Emily's like, I always forget this kid is 23 years old.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but like he's the boy. You know what I mean? So
no,
it's
for sure.
It's fucking different. But that's funny that they used to just fucking stay at fucking Mama Ryan's house.
Yeah.
And then like, was Faraz making those trips too?
No. Faraz, I don't even think I've ever seen Faraz at the gym in New York. I don't think I saw him at Henzo's one time. Yeah. Eamon would for sure, but I can't recall a single time I saw Faraz. I know that before my time, I think he was up there a lot before I started training at Henzo's, but while I was there, I had not seen much of him.
Then there's another guy. Do you remember a guy named Max McGar?
Max McGar.
He's a black belt under Henzo. At Henzo's, he came up with like John, I think.
If I saw him, probably. I'm terrible with remembering names, and that was such a big gym. It's so hard to remember everybody.
Yeah. Max McGar is the guy that gave Vince, like Morning Vince, like military Vince. He is a black belt under Max.
Okay.
So I didn't know if there was like
he's in Reno now, right?
He's in Reno. He's good because he came up with like John. So he was like at the forefront of like when all that stuff was going down. So
nice.
He knows a bunch of shit. That's probably why Vince is fucking good too. Vince is 43 years old. Did you know that?
That's crazy.
He made it to day 2.
Yeah.
Partying.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. That man is out of his mind. he just doesn't give a fuck.
He's the fucking man, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure he's got stories. You got to get him on the podcast.
I have to, he's coming on. It's so yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're so bad with like me and Declan just did this randomly and we're like no one's going to like some of the boys will do it. But we're like so we just asked everybody. We put out the bat signal and then everyone was like yes. Fucks, now we're backlogged like trying to get fucking people on. Then Declan had to go, but he's on the list to get on because like I mean just for like a backstory for people that don't know, Vince Barbosa is, like I said, he's 43-year-old black belt, was a military guy, but he went to West Coast Trials. Was it West Coast or East Coast? East Coast Trials.
East Coast, he made day 2.
East Coast Trials, and everyone's like doing their diets, they're doing this, they're doing that, they got to get their amount of sleep or whatever, and yada 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 yada. And I'm at home watching because I was still hurt with my knee, and Vince wins a match. And I was like, fuck yeah, because Vince is super good. Mm-hmm. Then he wins another match, subs a guy. And after he wins, he's also he's competing in Billabong surf shorts.
Yes.
And a wife beater, I believe.
Shirtless. They didn't let him with the wife. Yeah, so he went shirtless. And after every match, he does the robot.
Yes.
For like a little too long.
He does it he does it long. He likes making people feel weird, I think. So he just like does it for a long time. And then subs 3 people on day 1. Goes to day 2. And the lore behind it was he was at the roulette table till like 4 a.m. the night before he competed.
That's insane.
Having beers. Woke up, subs 3 guys. And then I think it was Pizzuto or JB were telling me, they're like, they saw him and they're like, holy fuck, man. Like, you're on to day 2. And he's like, yeah. And like, well, what are you going to do now? And he's like, well, I think if it's not broke, don't fix it. So I'm going to go to the roulette table right now, have a beer, and I'll probably stay out till 5 instead of 4 to get a little bit of extra luck. And he did the whole thing all over again that fucking night.
Yeah, that's insane.
Gambling, having beers. But, I mean, I guess, like, if you have, like, his job, like, his background of a job, like, what's going to give you anxiety?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, he always says that to me because I care so fucking much. He looks at me, he's like, this means nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Sometimes, like, if I'm worried about, like, a match or something, I'm like, when I'm 70, am I going to give a fuck about this? And most of the time, it's no.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. Even, like, right now, I think about it, I'm like, outside of our little world, like, because to us, this is so big.
Yeah.
But then, like, you go back home and people are like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And you're like, I do jiu-jitsu. They're like, taekwondo. And you're like, no one knows what the fuck we're doing. No one, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's such like a small little like thing that like feels so important to you at the time. And it is important to you because you put effort into it. But like, you have to remember, like,
yeah, it's just a dumb little niche sport.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a good time.
It is a good time. But what the fuck are we at here? 49. We'll keep talking for like another 10 minutes. So you don't really have anything booked or anything. You're just focused on getting better.
Yeah, mainly just recovering and, while I can't compete and we got CJI coming up, trying to, play more of a coach role in the preparation for CJI. It's kind of like the first time I'm really doing this because I don't think people realize it's very hard to be a head coach and a full-time athlete at the same time. So now it's like, I'm forced to sit out and watch the rounds and stuff. And so now, yeah, trying to take on more of a head coach role now. And yeah, I've kind of been experimenting with like the CLA format. I do it a bit differently than Greg Souders does, but
the fuck is CLA?
Or ecological.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like citric acid approach.
Yeah, constraints-led approach. But yeah, I've been playing with that. I still do drilling and stuff, but like the way I'm doing it now, so like right now I'm kind of experimenting with it because it's like the first time I've ever tried something like this. So I kind of picked like 3 different people of 3 different skill levels. So I picked Nicky, Nick Mattia, and Ali. And pretty much I'm having them do a round. I developed like the game based off of what I thought Nicky Rod needed to work on. And it's like, so Nicky Rod's obviously very good at chest-to-chest passing, body lock, half-guard passing, things like that. But in competition, he wouldn't be able, if that wasn't working, he wouldn't really be able to switch it up and go to like loose outside passing, high-stepping, things like that. So kind of came up with a game where, he's not allowed to go chest-to-chest. So it eliminates body lock passing, half-guard passing, split squat camping. And yeah, he's only allowed to do like outside passing. And so pretty much I'll have him do like 2 rounds a day like this every day, all of them. And then I'm watching it and kind of, giving them suggestions on what I think they could be doing better. And then they drill it. And then, so they'll do 1 round, then they'll drill for a little bit, and then they'll do another round. And to be honest, I like the progression is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Doing it this way. I think like if I do play, like more of a coaching role in this CJI camp, I think that's the way I would want to have things run.
Yeah, I feel the progression. I'm the guy on the fucking bottom.
Yes, yeah.
It's it's good. I mean, I think I can speak for everyone in the room, like not throwing shade towards anybody, but like selfishly, like first of all, like just to, like kind of go on like what you first said. It's fucking shocking to me that people in this sport don't get how it would be hard to be a coach and an athlete at the same time. It's like, okay, look at any other sport. Tell me how many are coach athletes.
Yeah.
There's 0 because you can't fucking do it. And they've been around a lot longer than us.
Yeah.
So like right there shows that you can't do it. Like being an athlete is probably like the most selfish endeavor. Like to be honest, like you have to like you just focus on your fucking self, right? So like it's crazy that people are like, why can't you do both? But like, I mean, it's nuts. But like, I think I can speak for everyone. Like, yeah, having you as a coach, like selfishly, like obviously I would never hope that you like don't compete or like your knee doesn't go good. But when you were hurt, I was like, I hope this motherfucker comes out with a stick. Yeah. Just hobbling around and is like, do this, go there, get someone to show like, because the progression of the room, like when you put, like I remember it was like right after I first got here, there was like 5 people from our team because we were so focused on like wrestling and stuff for a while. 4 guys did a show and I think 3 out of 4 of them got leg locked. Or it was like different shows, and like 3 of the up and coming guys got leg locked all in 1 week. And I remember we came into practice on Monday, and you came to the middle, and you're like, "Okay, no one's getting fucking leg locked anymore because like this is just annoying me. So we're just gonna go over escapes." And I remember like it was the first time I was like, "Oh shit, the kid's a little bit pissed," because you were like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah.
4 of us got leg locked. I think I got straight ankled. Allie got heel hooked. I think JB got heel hooked at Aiga.
Yeah.
And then someone else, and he was like, "Okay, this is not going to happen again." And like we went over that.
Yeah,
like,
honestly, that was like the first time I did like somewhat of like the ecological thing where I didn't really even teach. I was like, I'm just going to have you guys start an outside ashi. And I just showed them like, this is what you should be doing to hide your heel. Like you should be looking to free your knee, and like didn't actually teach and have them drill. I just had them start in the position. And I was like, you're just going to go live from here. And then if you guys escape or counter leg lock, whatever it is, like, like that's a win. But I was like, you guys have to get good at like hiding your heels.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, everyone got better at it for sure. But like, it's good to like have you like, it's going to be sick to have you like coaching a lot more with like your knee and stuff. And then obviously you're going to make a comeback as a fucking athlete after that too. And you're all good to go. But
no, for sure. But I am saying right now, I was like, one more surgery, and that's it for me. I'm done.
Really?
Yeah, if I re-tear this ACL, I'm just going full-time coach. I'm 23 going on 3 knee surgeries. I'm like, if I get one more, like, that's it for me.
There you go. I mean, are you the type of personality? I mean, this is a good question for both of you, I guess. Like, it was funny having like different people on. So like we had Joe on, and Joe was pretty vocal about it. I didn't want to bring it up on the podcast, but then he said on the pod, he's like, I don't give a fuck about competing. He's like, I don't want to compete. I don't like competing. I do it so I can just make money. So I can, he's like, honestly, if it was up to me, I could train with my friends all day, every day and never compete. And then there's guys, we had Owen on next, where Owen was like, if I couldn't compete, I wouldn't do this. Mm-hmm. So like there's different mindsets like in our game where like I only do this for medals, and other guys are like I do this because I like problem solving and hanging out. Like what mindset do you guys think you guys are both?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I hate compete. I love winning. I hate competing. I hate the lead up to competition. I get so nervous every single time before I compete. I think that's why a lot of my performances are like wish-washy. I have really good performances and then really bad performances. Me personally, like I hate competing, but I still do want to accomplish things in the sport, like, you know, winning an ADCC or winning a CJI, like, but I definitely am not a fan of competing.
Yeah. What about you?
I enjoy it, but like I could live without it. You know, like it's exciting and it's like it forces me to work hard, and that's great. But like when it's done, and I want to do it enough to like when it's done, I don't want to go back. You know, like I'm gonna like kind of enjoy the experiences that I'm able to have now with competition, and like, you know, getting to do things like ADCC and stuff like that I wanted to do when I was like a blue belt is sick. But like, I don't think you're supposed, like, I don't want to be like in the Masters 3 division. No offense to anybody who's in the Masters 3 division, but I don't want to be in like Masters 3 trying to win a Masters World title or anything. I want to be like, enjoy my experience now and then just be done when I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like I like, for me, training is the fun part, you know, like I like just like going to the gym every day and having that routine and getting in good shape, and that stuff is fun. The competition is kind of it's a good motivator, but like jiu-jitsu is still fun when you're not competing.
For sure. Yeah, like I can kind of get with that. Like, especially like I'm in a different spot. I'm like fucking 31 years old. I have a job. But like I still have like enough ego where it's like I want to compete. I want to do something. Like I want to like get some wins in there. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm still not competing that fucking great, but so I'm still like I gotta compete. But I'm like, how much longer am I gonna fucking want to do this? Like want to compete? Like leave on the weekend after I worked 40-hour weeks and then like go compete in the Oklahoma recreational center versus 19-year-old number 2. It's just fuck, bro. Like
that's like the hard part. Like I feel like once you get exposed to like a certain kind of like some of the, you know, for like I did the IBJJF circuit for a long time, and like when you do those for a while and then like you get the experience of like someone's gonna fly you somewhere and pay you to compete, then it's like, why would I ever go back to doing it the other way?
I got exposed to that once, and Jet AOK'd me, so I went back to the circuit immediately. You know what I mean? That's the problem with me, is people are like, someone said you were good, so I go out and then I compete like shit, and they're like, what the fuck? I'm like,
yeah,
it's the rolled 8 ball with me, Bubba. It depends on how I wake up. But yeah, I think we'll probably call it there. One thing Declan's been asking everyone, I think he already asked you, so you don't have to answer it again, but he's been asking everyone at the end of these, like, what's the end goal? Like, what's the end goal for Nicky Ryan? Like, where do you see this? Like,
yeah, I mean, end goal, one, at least accomplish something in the sport, win a big title, ADCC, CJI, something along those lines. And then after I retire from competition, I want to have, you know, like my own gym, B team, and like just like have a bunch of affiliates around the world, you know, like kind of just grow B team, and, you know, start producing my own super high level athletes from scratch.
Yeah. As a Jersey guy, do you think you'll ever go back? 'Cause I know you guys love where you're fucking from.
Me? Nah, I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't go back and live in
Do you think
Jersey.
like for you, Austin is like a long term?
For the foreseeable future, yeah. I think like the
I
only
could see Nicky in Florida, dude.
the only 2 places I want to live are Texas and Florida. I'd probably prefer Florida, like maybe retire in Florida, especially since my mom's out there, you know, when she gets older and stuff, be able to be there and take care of her. But definitely Austin for like the foreseeable future, yeah.
Nice. Cool. Well, yeah, I'll say, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you.
You're the fucking man. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, Declan will be back next week. Somebody sponsor us. Float the boys some fucking cash other than fucking, we're just trying to keep the ship afloat. Fucking listen, subscribe. There you go. I think Declan is telling me to tell people to subscribe. Subscribe to me talking fucking nonsense.
Share, and subscribe.
There you go. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm very professional. But, and again, if I get one more company reaching out saying they're going to sponsor us and they completely pull the shoot, I'm going to fucking snap. So only reach out if you're going to do something. You know what I mean? No, thanks, boys.